want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution, where we talk about everything crypto daily. Before we jump into this video, I want to say thank you for smashing that like button, trying to get a like spike going. 1,000 likes a video, that's the goal. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure and do so. There's a Litecoin giveaway. I'll talk to you about that in just a little bit. Jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, sideways with reddish undertones. Overall market cap of cryptocurrency, $190 billion. Bitcoin at 67.93. This is a Bitcoin 3-day chart. Now we've got a bearish cross of the 21 and the 50 moving average coming. Also, we've got increasing price on decreasing volume. That's not a good sign. However, there's a possibility of a bullish MACD cross. But I want you to look back here when you do get a bullish MACD cross or close to it until it's confirmed. You know, there's a possibility that the MACD diverges from the signal line. So there's kind of some conflicting signals here. I mean, we've had a pretty epic bounce off this recent bottom. But again, this falling volume on increasing price. And then there's a ton of overhead resistance right here for Bitcoin. This 6,800 level, like right now, the bulls and the bears are battling it out. The daily candle closes in about 40 minutes, the weekly as well. So potentially we see some price action over, it's a movement in the price of Bitcoin over the next 24 hours. You got Asia waking up about 8 p.m. You know, daily candles close, and then obviously United States starts trading in the morning. So we definitely have some movement ahead of us as far as the Bitcoin price action goes, because it hasn't been doing much all weekend. Now, right now, this current candlestick is a doji. Let me zoom in on this, which means this is an indecision doji, right? So here it was a reversal, right? This small doji here, the price reversed. Okay, so this basically, if it closes like this, you're essentially looking at the next candle as far as the direction of the trend goes. This is a Bitcoin daily chart. So zooming in a little bit, you can see right here you've got a high and then a higher high. However, on the histogram, I've got a high and then a lower high. So unless this price action pulls this histogram up higher, you're essentially building bearish divergence on the daily chart. Okay, so you have possible bearish divergence. Now this is just a possible, but if it's confirmed, if you get a candle close to the downside, you know, we'll see a price retrace. You see again, declining volume on slightly increasing price as well. So zoom in even more, 4-hour Bitcoin chart. So you can notice that the price action right now is above the 21 and the 200 simple moving average. So that's, you know, a good sign. It's all about to happen in this green circle right here. Bitcoin's running out of room. Like either it's going to break to the downside, or there's a possibility that there's another leg higher. There's room up here for another leg higher. At some point, this is a rising wedge, 68% chance that it does break to the downside. It's not, I made this up, or I think this is going to happen. This is what the charts are telling us, right? You have to trade what you see on the charts all the time. If we do break lower, you're looking at 6,000 and possibly 5,000 over time. However, it's not too far out of the question to think that we run up here and tap 7,800 to 8,000 before a move to the downside, right? But the bulls haven't been able to push above this level. I've got a cryptocurrency trading group. I've got 6 chat groups where everybody's calling out breakouts, posting charts, working together to trade this market. I've got 41 videos in a playlist where if you don't know anything about trading at all, you can watch these videos, you'll be making profitable trades. The most important part about trading this market is you have to be in the right coins. You have to be in the right coins. And part of being in the trading group is making sure you're in the right coins. If you want to join the cryptocurrency trading group, you want to pay in crypto, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. I'll get you set up and in the group today. If you pay for 6 months, you get 20% off. If you pay for the year in crypto, you get a 30% discount and an additional month for free. If you do want to pay with a card month to month, you can do so. There's a Patreon link in the description. The group is cheap. You guys got to remember, it's not designed to be expensive. Like, it pays for itself in a couple trades. And we've seen amazing success. Huge gains in my trading group, 403%, 297%. Everyone was trading Link with leverage. This person, 450% in IOST, 296%, almost 300% gains in Link. This person, I'm up 300% using leverage on Link thanks to the group. I took profit at 727%. And again, these are high leverage trades. I didn't start trading here, but they progressed to this level. 140% in Link. Here's a couple comments from the trading group. This person stated, I changed my strategy from hodl to trading. After spending a week watching your videos on repeat, I was able to take my portfolio from $4,000 to $14,000 in just a few days. In a few days, he made 10 grand on $4,000. This person said, I made more this month than I usually make. I doubled my salary. The game changes when you start making more trading than you do when you go to work. And especially with times like this where potentially people have more time on their hands, you know, I definitely recommend you, like, no matter what you do in life, you have to make things happen. And this is one of those times where it's a very good opportunity. If you have some downtime, it's a great opportunity to take advantage and learn to trade this market. Next person stated, hey, Chris, I've made back 1 year subscription plus $300 in 2 days. It's that easy. Let's talk about this Litecoin giveaway. So in order to get the Litecoin, you got to subscribe to the channel. Go over to Twitter, follow me on Twitter, cryptobtc_Chris, and retweet the next, I'm about to tweet this video after I upload it, and retweet this tweet, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to give a Litecoin away tomorrow. Crypto Whale predicts economic shock is coming amidst this panic situation. So this is Joe 007. This massive Bitcoin whale, he essentially made, I talked to you guys about him in the past, he earned $20 million in profits through February and March's market volatility. And everybody was giving him a hard time because they thought he was going to sustain big losses, and he turned it around and he nailed it. He expects traditional markets to spiral in the coming months. He said this is going to be the biggest economic shock of our generation. It will unfold in waves over time, giving false hopes and then crushing them. The focus will be on shifting to different areas. Attempts to alleviate and solve one situation will lead to more of a mess. Unless something changes dramatically, he sees people pulling their money out of Bitcoin. And he thinks that these obviously is going to drop the price of Bitcoin in general. The scarcest commodity in the world is human time. Human time applied to productive activity is what makes the economy happen. Producing everything we take for granted. Human time spent sheltering in safe places, not so much. None of this happens. No amount of money printing can compensate for that. I think we haven't even begun to see the turmoil as far as what this panic situation is going to do to the economy, right? It's really just getting started. So, like, be mindful, like, how is this going to affect cryptocurrency? Like, we had a huge sell-off and then we had potentially a bounce. Are we going to see the sustained market momentum to the upside under these global economic conditions? I mean, what do you guys think here? You know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Which way is it going to go? FDIC announces its first panic situation, bank failure in the United States. So this is a bank in West Virginia. It's shut down due to the economic fallout concerning this panic situation. This bank was acquired by another bank. Could this be the first domino in the fall of the banking world? Banks are in trouble, but the United States is going to bail them out, right? That's just what we do. Now, is there a point where the United States is not going to be able to do so? The nice thing about, you know, banking is that everything's FDIC insured, but how long will that potentially last? Now, this is a pretty amazing chart. And this is Bitcoin net unrealized profit and loss. And what you see this colorful chart in the background, this rainbow colored chart. So that's miner capitulation, right? Miners, when they capitulate, you can see that really is a good signal as far as the market bottom. Okay, so, you know, back here, 2012 bottom, 2015 bottom, and then even when we ran down to 3150, now here you see the miners capitulated, and, you know, they're shutting their hash power is dropping. They shut off their machines. Mining's not profitable. And so basically what this idea is stating is that a lot of times you get more than, you know, you kind of get a double or triple bottom on this miner capitulation. So far here with Bitcoin, these miners have only capitulated, and will we see another capitulation? And when this capitulation does happen, obviously it's going to drastically affect the price of Bitcoin because it has based on the past. Now, the sample size here is not very many There's not very much data to look at. But you can definitely see the correlation between miners capitulating and Bitcoin price drops. So the question is, will history repeat itself? Alex Kruger said that the markets are likely to open higher. So two key positive developments are the New York panic situation. New cases are down slightly. And oil, OPEC is likely to meet on Thursday, where there's maybe a G20 energy ministers meeting on Friday. Actually, this is S&P futures, NASDAQ, and Dow. They're all up, 1% or so. So potentially a positive for tomorrow's open that kind of feeds into the possibility of a small bounce for Bitcoin. Class action lawsuits filed against 11 Bitcoin companies. These lawsuits are filed against Binance, BitMEX, Tron Foundation, other major companies. So there was one that's already been settled with the SEC over an ICO. He's talking about EOS. There's 42 defendants in more than a dozen countries. What does this mean? It means there's 42 people that lost a bunch of money buying crypto. They didn't know what they're doing. They lost money, and now they want some back. So these lawsuits were filed in the U.S. District Court of New York, and they have one thing in common. They're basically saying that the token issuers took advantage of the market's lack of understanding and awareness of how cryptocurrencies worked. This is a situation where a ton of people are moving their money from traditional markets where they have potentially investment advisors, and they come into crypto and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it on my own. And then it's like, hey, what should I buy? What should I do? What should I do? And then they crowdsource their buys and sells, and it doesn't work out well for them, right? Because potentially what everybody else thinks, they're going to be wrong about 70% of the time, right? So you have to go against what everybody else says. That's the irony in this. So all these Kucoin, QuantStamp, BBox, KDEX, Status, BP Protocol, Civic were among companies that are being sued. EOS, Bancor, Status. They're saying Binance sold securities without a license. Tron, Justin Sun promoted Tron in violation of securities laws. Sun founded Tron, and he's saying, hey, it's better than Ethereum, so he compared it to Ethereum. Block One promoted, offered, and sold EOS tokens, and Block One did settle with the SEC saying, hey, yeah, we're guilty. Here's $24 million. Dan Larimer, the company's CTO, appeared at the crypto conference Consensus in New York in May 2017 to promote EOS. And EOS was even advertised on a billboard in Times Square. So again, promotion of unregulated securities is the reason why this lawsuit exists. So BitMEX has been essentially accused of selling securities, EOS and SNT. And then on March the 12th, when Bitcoin dropped 20%, BitMEX went offline for a short period of time. The lawsuit claims as a result of the outage, BitMEX did not dip into its insurance fund, but rather it liquidated $800 million of its customers' highly leveraged positions for its own profits. Real quick, in a nutshell, what this tells us is there's just a bunch of uncertainty about how do we regulate cryptocurrency. There's a bunch of gray area. There's, it's important we watch to see how this lawsuit works out. Money's going to solve this for a lot of these crypto companies. Like, they're billion-dollar corporations for a reason, and they're just going to throw some money at this and it'll go away. But the thing is there's a lot of legalities that need to be ironed out in this space going forward. Just these laws, and even the SEC has come out and said, hey, we're changing these securities laws. We're going to allow more people to become accredited investors, even if they don't meet the minimum requirements as far as the amount of financial stability that they have to have, $1 million valuation. They'll essentially have a test that they can take to show, hey, I'm educated enough to make these investments. So that's where we're headed. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.